New video, new job. It's that time of year again to start thinking about setting up our tractor for hedge cutting. Now, I will say, before I start making this video, there's one thing I have to do. Yep, the body warmer's back on. You know something, I might have to put on a jacket because I can feel it in my arms. The time of year is here. It's definitely got a lot colder. It's not cold, but it's not warm. The temperature's gone out of the air now. It's the time of year. It's starting to show its face. But hey, it's absolutely been a brilliant September. We definitely can't complain about the weather this year. So the job is in hand today is to get our hedge cutter, our PA 93, onto the tractor. Now, I've made a good start yesterday. I just hooked it all up. I had to make a few changes to the A-frame. So the A-frame is this guy here. Some people, believe it or not, don't use that. I don't know why. They just hook it from the top link straight to the machine and don't use the A-frame. I can't really understand the reason for doing that. I'm sure there is. But I find the A-frame's great because it takes the whole weight off the machine. You can drop down the arms then and it's resting on all of the 3-point linkage rather than just on the arms itself. And it stops it from being able to be let down. It just holds it in position. I think the A-frame's a great job. But anyway, these slots are in there. I had to move it from the very inner slot to the very outer slot because this hedge cutter is mounted a lot further away than it was in the last tractor. The 6470 would have been up very tight here to the wheel. I had to change things around, everything's set up in a different position, but we have it all set up. Hedge cutters can be a lug of a thing to put on, and this one's no different. A lot of people messaged me and asked me, is there an easy way of putting on and taking off the hedge cutter? And to be honest with you, not really. But I have found that using a trolley jack, which is sitting behind here, there's one there and there's the bottle jack, using that to tilt it forward does help. Yeah, it helps with getting the A-frame into place. That's what I found. I found the trolley jack, even for taking it off, does help. Helps a lot. They are an awkward thing to take off, especially these ones. May make a stand for it eventually, and that's the plan, to make a stand for it over this winter time. You can just hook it straight off onto, because these planks here, and there was another one underneath, I had to put them planks under this side of this tank because it's that heavy. When you take it off, no matter what way you leave it, the hedge cutter will always start to tilt slowly and slowly and slowly on this side because of the weight. So if you put 2 planks on that side, it stops that from happening. But if I had a stand made perfectly for holding it, I wouldn't have to do that. So it's something I will do down the line. We're going to be doing some cool things on this bonnet during this video. I'm looking very forward to showing you that. I'm going to be fitting our window guards as well, so setting it up. But one thing we do have to do before any of that happens is we have to get our controls fitted up into the tractor. These are our controls here, cable controls with our 3 levers. I lifted it up there a while ago and figured out quite quickly that it's too short. And I said, what in the name of Jesus am I going to do now? And to fix that, I realised that these cables here, if you can see what I'm talking about, need to be above this hinge here. And that's going to give me an extra few inches because it's going underneath and then coming up, and that's leaving it short. It was alright in the last tractor, but not on this one. So I'm going to have to jack this up, take the weight off it, open this here, hopefully move it out of the way, get them cables up above, up here, and hopefully then we will have enough room to get it mounted. And that's another issue, actually getting it mounted in this tractor. But we'll get this done first and then take into mounting it up there. Oh, Jesus. So we might be just able to get them cables slid under that. I think we will. We'll just have to move our pipes. Our pipes are sitting a wee bit in the way here. We'll just have to take them back out again, put them in the right way around, and then we'll be on looped. But that's it, up where it should be now. We should have, hopefully, a little bit more room. There we go. Right, so the next big problem. How do I mount this lever set or valve chest, whatever you want to call it? How do I mount it on here? Now, the last tractor was missing this part of the seat here. I could take this off and do exactly what I done on the other tractor because it looks like the very same spare seat. The only thing is I don't want to bore any holes in this tractor. I really don't want to do that. The one big disadvantage, and it is a disadvantage, some people love it because it is reliable. Yes, I get that. That's great. The disadvantage with the cables is you have to mount them fairly solid. because you don't want them moving at all when you're working. It's hard enough on your arms and things without having it moving around. So the last time I had it fitted in the other tractor, I kept the bracket that I made specially for it. I don't think it's going to fit on here. But it was nice and solid. And if it was a powered system, like a joystick or something like that, it'd be brilliant. I don't know if you can convert these to electric. I'm not sure if you can. That's a downfall. That's a downfall to it. I would like if it was electric. I still love the Hedge cutter. Absolutely love it. And I'm not going to put it down for just that. So we're going to have to come up with an idea. Try to fix this somewhere or other. But one thing for sure is I'm not boring holes in this tractor. We're going to have to find a way of mounting it. Right, so one thing I have gained the leverage. Now I've got the extra bit of space, the extra bit of length rather. I'm still thinking the best thing to do would be to remove this section of the spare seat and try to mount it behind there. And that way it's hidden, because I have a bracket that I made up for the last tractor up in the shed, and it slides up onto this here and holds it really solid. So I'm still thinking that's the easiest way. So I'm going to remove this part of the seat here. It just clips out, and see will that work. There we go, that's it out. I just brought down the piece that I made. Now this is it here, that's what I made last year. Look it, it's as rough as a badger's backside, but you know what, it worked. What size are you? 13. Okay, I might have to get a longer bolt to fit this. Right, do you see that slot there? Well, I've removed this bolt from here, and if I pull this out, I can get it out just enough to get a bolt in behind there and allow the thread part to come out here. What I'm hoping then is I'll bolt this down on the bottom, and then I'll fit to slide that other bolt that I've done up and down on this here from the inside, put another nut then on the outside of it to keep it tight, and then put the bracket on, then put another nut on top of that to keep it out in its right place. I'll have to do the same here, put another nut just to get it out a little bit further past the edge of this here that it sits better. That's what I'm going to do. Hopefully you'll understand it and you'll be fit to see what I'm at. It's a bit dark in here, but we'll just have to work with what we have. Here we go. Put the washer on that. Right, so before my battery dies, and I have to go and get another one, I want to just show you that there now. That's that clamp in. That might help some of you if you're ever putting something on a tractor like this. That's the way to do it. I made that clamp, just a bit of flat steel and a bit of box iron. Then I made a little support here on the bottom of this bracket, and this here will just slide tight down into this here. I'm going to show you that now in a minute. But if you can see here, you see the way it's level? Now the seat is sloped back, but you see this is level. That's because I added 2 bolts there, 1 bolt at the bottom. That's as solid can be, and I didn't have to bore any holes, which is great, into the tractor. Easy took off, easy put on. It helps one of you guys. There it is. I can send you pictures of it on Instagram or whatever if you needs be, but it's quite easy done, and it worked a treat. That there sliding up and down on that slot, which is usually the slot for your seat to kind of come up and get supported into place, works great because you can move it up and down, and then just adding a nut on the end keeps it tight while you put this in, if it makes sense. And there it is, there's it in place, solid, ready to mount that on. Bingo! Now I can adjust this little bolt here, and I can move it side to side. Oh, me likey a lot. So hopefully if any of you guys are doing something similar in your own tractor, something that has to be mounted on this side, it might help you out. So there you go, that's that job done. I'll have to give it a bit of a clean up. I know some of you might say it's a bit rusty looking or whatever. It's fine, it's only a set of controllers. I'm finished with it this year. Yes, I might actually get it all painted up, clean this whole area up, but I don't actually think you can get them anymore. But try to find them and put new ones on it and just paint the whole thing and tidy it all up. But sorry for now, it's certainly going to do its job for me. So that's job done. On to the next one. Right, so it's on. That's a start. It's a good start. It seems to be all working as it should. It's the first time I ever put it on this tractor, as you probably know. So a couple of things I have to do automatically straight away is level it. And when you lift the arms, it's going to tilt over that direction, so you have to compensate for that. Just have it that when the head is extended fully out, the hedge cutter is more or less level. Trying to keep it as level as we can. So that's what we're going to be doing there now. And also another thing we're going to be doing is greasing it. I'm going to grease it now. I have some of it greased when it was sitting in the yard, but I'm still a few places that I have to get. So we're going to grease them now and get the hedge cutter leveled. So I just wanted to show you when I talked about levelling the hedge cutter. I hope you can hear me over the tractor. But just to show you what I mean about levelling. There you go now. All you simply do is you take away from one, you add to the other. In this case, I needed to tilt the hedge cutter back this way. So what I had to do was I had to lengthen it on this side and shorten it on that side. Just make sure whatever you add to one side, you take away from the other. It's a job that takes a little bit of time. Little bit of fiddling just to get right. You have to get on and off the tractor a few times, but it's worth doing because I see a lot of hedge cutters on the road and a lot of them are tilting way too much to one side. It's worth taking that little bit of time to level it properly. I'm gonna have to get a screwdriver and clean that out. Right, so we're sucking diesel rightly. We're getting to the next thing, and this is pretty much the coolest thing on the whole video. You remember I mentioned I was talking to a guy from Farmhand, and Cormac, that actual guy from Farmhand, is a farmer himself and has a hedge cutter similar to my own, and we're just chatting about different things you can put on the tractor to protect it. Now the last tractor I had, the 6470, we done the season with it and it was grand. We had no brakes. Luckily, nothing happened, but just at the very end, when I was actually cutting a little bit for my brother around a bit of Lord Hedges and things, a stone popped up, hit the side window, and it was an awful clatter, but thankfully it didn't break the window. But it makes you think. You see guys with their tractors all covered, things on the windows, you'll see them all over the place, and I'm not doing that for nothing. It can throw a root, a stone, a piece of wire actually is worse than anything at the tractor and smash your window or damage your bonnet. And you know something, on this tractor, I don't want to damage my pretty bonnet. I don't want that to happen. I certainly don't want to break a window. But the first thing we want to do is show you what we got to protect our bonnet. Now back about 2 months ago, maybe even more, I ordered this. I bought this myself. This is mine now. No sponsored stuff or any of that crack. This is mine. And I got talking to these lads in Cunningham Covers in the UK. I'm just going to copy their website address, copy and paste it onto the description so you can have a look. It's got nothing to do with me after that. But I think it's an amazing bit of kit. I haven't put it on yet and I'm eager to get doing it. Now I seen these on a channel called It's a Farming Life for Me. He drives John Deeres and stuff. I can't remember what model of John Deere it is he has because it's John Deere. Shh. Anyway, I seen a cover that he got that was exactly matching the model he had of a tractor, and it says, Jesus, that does look well. It does look good. So I rang them, got a price, ordered one for myself, and here it is. It took a few weeks for it to come, but it came on time. It's here now, probably more than a month, sitting in my house. My wife's glad to get it out of the closet because we're taking up a bit of room. But it's here now, and I didn't want to put it on until we were putting on the hedge cutter. Right, so it's on. It's probably looking a little bit creased looking at the minute because it's a bit like my shorts there on a Saturday night before my wife irons them, or they iron on themselves, or they iron on me, which is usually the way. It covers the whole tractor. It looks very, very well, and the lights can pierce through, so it's not blocking the lights. There's plenty of room for the tractor to breathe. So it's just perfect. Just a perfect fit for the tractor. Looks very well. Now we have to figure out how the hell it goes on. We have a big long rope here. I thought it was in sections, but it's actually one big long rope. So I'm thinking you start at the back here, and you tie it on here, and once you get it secured, it's only a matter of going back and forth the whole way up into these pockets here, and it should go on relatively easy, said he several times. That wasn't hard. That was actually quite easy. Do you want to see it? There it is. That is our Cunningham's cover. See the way it fits on? So yeah, start off in your corner, the back I think is the best place to start. Underneath, through the other side, back in here. It's just crisscross, back and forth and back and forth, with the one piece of bungee cord, if you want to call it, or bungee rope, whatever you want to call it, underneath. Just make sure it's not caught in any shafts or anything. And you can see the way on this side is different. This side you just feed it through. So I think I have it right. Hopefully it won't slide forward, but it shouldn't. I think we have it on correctly. I think it looks well. I'm happy with my purchase. It's going to protect the bonnet. Now, it won't stop a tree from coming down and damaging your bonnet, but it will stop a piece of wire or stone or something like that from scratching the bonnet in your tractor. It is good thick stuff. It is really, really good thick stuff, and you can see underneath it's foam lined inside as well, so that's all foam lined. That's really thick material. That'll take a good impact and not damage your bonnet. So there's the website there, www.cunningham.com, and go and check them out for yourself and see what you think, and see can you get one for your model of your tractor, and I presume you can. Next job is just to give these a quick clean down, these windows, and put on our tractor guard window covers. So you're basically tying these cables around the glass, so if the suction cups ever fail, it's still held on around the glass, so it's never going to fall off. This one here has to come through here now, and that one will link up to this one. So that gives you an idea. That's it on there now. I'm sorry, it's a bit leery with the light. It's very hard to show something like this, but you can see yourself. The hole is cut out. It's made custom to fit this cab, so it's not a universal thing. It's made to suit this particular cab. You'll see them everywhere. They're very, very popular. They're so easy to put on. They don't actually fade in the sun. They do scratch. Yes, they will scratch if you're not careful, but they don't fade in the sun, so they're never going to get that old mist across them. And that's our tractor guard covers on. So that's the side window done. Now we have the curved window done on the side. Everything fits really well. That's something that I really like about it. You nearly could not tell there was a guard on that tractor. Very hard to tell, especially at a distance you wouldn't even notice it. So that's them. They're sucked on there. You have the bungee cords going around it as well on the window, so it's never going to come off, and it's going to protect your windows from being broken. Them tractor guards aren't that overly expensive, to be honest with you, and for what they are and how easy they are to put on, I think they're a must. They're just so easy compared to having to put up a big hip of steel and mesh and all this kind of crack. They'll protect your windows from nearly everything, and it doesn't impair your vision. You're looking out there and you can see everything as plain as day. So what more can you say about it? Now we're all set for hedge cutting. I'm going to leave that for the next day because it's near milking time now, and I have another job to do before I start milking, so I'm going to leave it for that this evening. Next video you'll see will be us out, hopefully hedge cutting. Cannot wait to get hedge cutting. I actually enjoy hedge cutting. We have lime going out tomorrow as well, so it's going to be quite busy around here for the next few days. So lots happening, and if you don't want to miss out, you know what to do. Hit that sub button, give us a like, leave a comment down below. You follow us on Instagram, Facebook, all them links is all down there. And until the next one, talk to you again.